So type 1, type 2 error again. Question 8 says food inspectors. So let me just make it a little bigger for you. Food inspectors inspect samples of food products to see if they are safe. This can be thought of as a hypothesis test with the following hypothesis. The food is safe, the food is not safe. HA, that's the same thing as H1. It's another way that sometimes people write it. It just, the A stands for alternative. Alternative hypothesis. The opposite idea, in other words. Okay, then they say the following is an example of what type of error. The sample suggests that the food is safe, but it's actually not safe. So, right, we're talking about errors in sampling and statistics and decision making that we can make. And they take a sample of some food, right? They try some food, and it seems to be safe. They eat it, they're good. But actually the food is not safe, and they find out 3 days later when they're sick or whatever. Or maybe they just happen to get a little piece of a rotten something, but their piece was still good. I don't know. Somehow there was a mistake. They did a little bit of a sample. They happened to get some good food, and they think, okay, the whole batch is good, when actually it's not good. It's actually not good. So what kind of mistake is that? Is that a type 1 or is that a type 2? Well, you gotta to figure that out, you've got to decide, because if you look back up here to the type 1, type 2, it's all about, did they reject the null or did they fail to reject the null? Which one did they do? The sample told them it's safe. So did they end up going with HO or H1? Which one did they keep? How about that? They said they thought the food was safe. So that means they accepted HO, didn't they? Right? The food is safe, HO. The sample told them it was safe. Now that, in reality, that was a mistake, right? It's actually not safe. But that's the whole point. Their conclusion to their test was wrong. It was an error. These are errors. These are mistakes, right? And they ended up, the sample told them the food is safe. So they concluded the food is safe. They went with HO. So what does that mean? They accepted HO, meaning they what? Rejected it or failed to reject it?
They failed to reject it.
Yeah.
So it's type 2.
They failed to reject it. This is a type 2 error for sure, right? They accepted the null. They failed to reject the null. Does everybody see that? See how you hone in on that? It's all about what they did. They looked at a little bit of food on a sample and they said, oh, that food was safe, so we think the whole batch is good. So they accepted HO, that the food is safe. They failed to reject HO when really HO was false. The food is really not safe. HO is really false. It was a type 2. Yeah. This getting easier? It's making sense? Questions I can answer?